back to Maintenance Maestros. I'm Melissa from Groundup.ai. So over the past few episodes, we've been talking about the real journey of promotion and maintenance, from seeing the bigger picture to exploring tech that elevates everyone. And today we're pulling back the curtain on something different. We're going beyond predictions to ask, does maintenance need a brain? Why does it need a brain? And why can't it just be a model? So today this is our thought leadership episode, designed to give you a glimpse into the future of maintenance. So grab your hard hats or your coffee and let's dive in.
What's up, guys? Today on Maintenance Maestros Monday, Triple M, we call it Triple M.
Alright, so joining me today is none other than Leon Lim, CEO and founder of Groundup.ai. Leon, thanks for being here and to close out the season with a bang. Alright, so let's start with the elephant in the room, predictive maintenance. So most people still think that predictive maintenance is the holy grail, it's the end-all of things. So what's your take on it?
It's the beginning of a new era.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in the previous era, everybody thought that whatever that they had is the best. Just like now, we think the iPhone is the best, right? Or the latest Samsung, Android, whatever. Yeah. But then, who knows? 30 years later, the phone that we have now is a dinosaur. It will be in the museum somehow. Just like how iPhone 3GS is in the museum. So predictive maintenance is coming to a point whereby those people that think they're good, think their solution is the best, probably need to rethink what they are saying also. Yeah, so there's always a next phase, right? It's now AI-powered predictive maintenance. We call that cognitive maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so going forward, I think that's the only way. There's no other way. Yeah.
Okay. So let's be real for now, right? Let's say how much money do you think the companies are actually burning on predictive maintenance? Since you say it's like end of the era. Do you have an estimate?
They are typically burning probably, I guess, 2 to 3% of their entire MRO budget. Yeah. Is it high? Is it low? Depends on the company how they look at it. Yeah. I think it should be higher. Yeah, because 11% of whatever revenue that people are earning typically goes to MRO budgets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's a balance, right? If you want to reduce the losses of the 11%, you got to invest more right from the get-go. Yeah, so I don't see that happening as fast as it should as compared to the other industries. I think it should be much faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So would you say like PDM kind of looks good on PowerPoint but doesn't really move the needle much?
PDM is great on PowerPoint. It's great on dashboards. It's great on everything, right? It tells you essentially when the machine breaks down. Usually it stops there, right? So in Asia we got this thing called feng shui.
Mm-hmm.
So I've met clients before. When I go into the room, trying to pitch our solution, and then he says that if this is like putting numbers on a chart and telling me when my machines were spoiled 3 weeks later, I call that feng shui. I don't believe in it. You can go now. Yeah. So I had that before, you see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we also know, right? Like it's not sufficient enough to tell clients when a machine spoils in today's market.
Mm-hmm.
We have to go way beyond that. Yeah. That's why we're doing what we're doing.
So many vendors will actually sell this like prediction PDM, predictive maintenance, as the end game. So as you said, it's not. So what do you think is it? Is it like ignorance on their part, or is it just because of money? So PDM sells. That's the thing.
I think it's AI is coming too fast. It's not their fault at all. Right? 3 years ago, we didn't even have ChatGPT, right? And 3 years ago, there was no talk about building mega data centers. Right, like buying land, buying towns, buying cities just to build data centers. 3 years ago, it was not even happening. So I don't blame like a manufacturing manager whose job KPI is to be in the factory, be in the pod the whole day, trying to keep the uptime up. That's a responsible manager. Mm-hmm. But because of that, sometimes you got to you give up a little bit of self-learning time, right, to keep up with the technology trends. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, sorry, what's the question? I talk too much about it.
Is it like ignorance on their part, or is it because they're selling predictive maintenance because it's easy money?
Okay. I think it's just they don't know what is out there. Yeah, because the market is moving too fast. So the only way is for folks like us, or for the legacy big giants, spend more money trying to educate, right, rather than sell their stuff. Yeah, the more they educate, the better it is for everyone, right? Similar to us. Yeah, so people are aware what tool is available in the market. Yeah, not just selling whatever makes the money. Because after all, if you fast forward 5 years, PDM will be, in my opinion, something that appear in the history books.
Okay, yeah. So we talked about cognitive maintenance. Maybe if you could explain it to us in plain English, that would be helpful for our listeners.
Okay, so predictive maintenance, like what I mentioned, it's like feng shui, right? You plot some graphs and then you say that, okay, this is going to happen. So you try to justify that thing that's going on there. When the machine was spoiled, right? Cognitive maintenance goes way beyond that, right? It's putting an AI brain into the PDM system. So what's the benefit of doing that? Now you don't just can tell when the machine was spoiled, right? It's crucial to know how the machine spoils also, right? The root cause analysis, because you don't just want to understand how to, like, what's the problem, how to fix it. You preferably want to make sure that this thing doesn't happen again, right? Because time is money, right? You don't want to buy the whole new machine, you don't want to replace it at the end of the day. If you can extend the life, so be it, that's even better, right? Yeah. And it doesn't stop there. So it tells you when, it tells you how, it tells you why and how to go and solve it at the end also. Right? So the part that I love about cognitive maintenance, it tells you exactly what problem it is and then how to go and fix it. So it's like having a virtual machine expert at your fingertips, whereby he's telling you everything that's going on. Right? It's good for the engineers. You can slightly, I would say, off your brain a little bit, right? Or focus on where do I go next, compared to squeezing your brain cells to solve something that shouldn't take so much effort in the first place. Yeah, so that's the key benefit about adding an AI layer on whatever that's existing now.
Yeah, that's also what we talked about with Darren in the last episode, about how technology is aimed to actually elevate it, to actually help people, rather than to take away your jobs, as all the buzzwords are saying, like, okay, AI is going to take away your jobs. Yeah. Okay. Right. So we did talk about PDM and cognitive maintenance and the shift. So let's stir the pot a bit.
Okay.
So do you think that PDM is the old playbook now?
PDM is the okay. PDM is doing the bare minimum. Let's put it that way, right? So you go to school, if you have to score a B to get to your next level or something, you try to score the B. So that's PDM, right? Yeah, it is what people already know. People are safe buying it, so they just buy whatever that is the bare minimum. So we have come across factories where we go inside the factory, we do an analysis, we see what sensors they have. They buy an array of sensors. They buy from vendor A, B, C. It's like ordering food, man. It's like ordering Cai Fan. You take this, you buy sensor, and then you tell your upper management, wow, got this whole bunch of interesting sensors. It can tell you X, Y, Z. But then, is that really helpful? Are you really making use of the data behind it? I don't think so. Yeah. So we are at the state now.
Yeah. But I feel like those companies are buying all the sensors because there's this big push towards digitalization. Like you have to buy something and then you actually get data. But what you actually do with the data is another thing altogether. Like, are you crunching it, making it work for your business, putting it into ROI for your company and organizations? Yeah. So actually, like the report from McKinsey, right, said that about 70% of digitalization projects fail because of lack of implementation or whatever reasons. Yeah. So what's the shift and what's actually push for the leaders in terms of this space?
It's a good question. 70% of all digitalization projects across all industries?
Yeah.
Okay, I can bet you industrial one is even worse. Industrial one skews the thing to probably like 80-90%, right? So based on our experience, partly is whatever that is in the market, right, doesn't change much, to be honest, compared to the last 10 years. This is a hard problem. Not many people are working on this difficult problem, right? There are many more sexy problems that people like to work with in AI, right? The generic, more broader horizontal applications, right? Ours is vertical, right? You've got to have some form of expertise to be able to solve it, right? So the amount, just the sheer volume of solutions entering the market, firstly, is really lesser. So with that, you don't really have a choice also, right? I mean, you've got lesser choices than the traditional, like the banking, the nicer, sexy sectors, banking, e-commerce, whatsoever out there. Yeah. So, okay, yeah, what's the question again? So first is the lack of availability of solutions, right? Number two, because these are high stakes industries, right? Typically, you don't just spend hundreds of millions, you spend billions and billions of your money, the government's money, right? In fact, the people's money. So you already invested billions of dollars into the assets there. Chances are, if you have $1 billion in your bank, you don't really want to take more risk, right? So you try to minimize as much risk as possible. You try to buy the safest option rather than the most aggressive option, even though it's already working. So I think it's quite similar mentality. Again, I don't think it's the fault of the maintenance team or even the directors of maintenance. I think it's just the natural risk-adverse nature of investing billions and billions in capex. Yeah.
That's true. But would you think that because maintenance managers, they have like limited solutions, but like AI, there's the AI layer here. So are they afraid of AI? Because like, you know, it might expose like the inefficiencies of the plant and the legacies that they have been actually doing for so long in their factories?
Yeah, yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 30 years ago, when ATMs just came out, you know, like people all say that all these bankers, right, sitting at the customer service counter will disappear within 5 years. Are they still here today?
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely, right. So there's a certain good thing about technology, for sure. There's also a dark side to every piece of technology. That's why there's a dark web, right? Yeah. So the aim is not to really think about all this bad stuff, right? Because it will happen. It's a tool. You can use it for good or bad, right? At the end of the day, it's what good can you harness through this thing, right? And then you balance it out with the potential bad stuff. So ATMs makes a lot of sense, like the traditional place you draw money, because there's no other option last time. You don't want to hire 100 people to serve all your clients, right? So what you do, you hire 10 people and then the rest you buy ATMs. So I think for maintenance solution, it's going to go through that same phase, right? You try to experiment, you start probably a bit smaller. You buy your 10 ATMs or so. You implement it. You check whether there's good ROI. If it works, you triple down on this thing. You buy 100 and you buy 1,000. Yeah, so naturally there will be some companies, some asset owners that are more aggressive, right? They will say that I test with 10 and it works, I'll do 20,000 straight away. There will be some that, you know, I try one, I buy one ATM, they don't see much productivity, oh, ATM doesn't work. Yeah, so there's always these two sides of people, right? The aim is, again, if you are a maintenance engineer, if you are a maintenance manager, you got to choose who you want to work for, right? You got to choose the culture of the company that is there. It doesn't just mean that if you are big, then you're a dinosaur. It's not true, right? Many dinosaurs today, they are trying to be like agile, moving monkeys even. Yeah, but you got to know your cuts. You got to know which employer you're working for. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. So at the end of the day, we'd say that tech doesn't stick unless it makes life better for people, which is your point earlier. So when you drop cognitive maintenance into a factory, who wins?
We win because we make money. Okay. Who wins? The company wins for sure. Right? At the end of the day, no matter what, so long as you're working for a company, you're accountable to the one who's investing money, right? First is definitely the company. You get higher ROI on your existing assets. I think the hidden thing that people don't really understand yet is it doesn't just make the maintenance crew better. It does, but it makes your asset life longer. So previously, if you think about it, if you are working for an aeroplane company, every 5 years you got to overhaul. You got to really change out your aeroplanes, throw away the old ones, buy new ones because it's dangerous, right? If you can double the lifespan of whatever that you have, you are investing half only. Means you keep more than half of the money, right? So that's at scale, that's a lot of money. If you are investing $10 billion every 5 years, now you're investing $10 billion every 10 years. So you can recycle the extra $5 billion and do many more things with it. So that's the hidden good stuff that people usually don't see because it's not a short-term ROI. You typically got to wait like 3 to 5 years to see it. Yeah, so first one is definitely corporations. They do benefit. If they don't buy it, then it's such a waste, right? Every day that you start, the earlier you start, the faster you reap benefits. Just like putting your money into an interest account. The earlier you start, the better. Secondly, it helps the folks do better job, right? Another hidden nice thing about this AI wave is companies that implement it help their employees to make their job more interesting, make their job better, right? And good employees typically want to be retained through better jobs, right? They want to have good bosses, they want to have good jobs. But if the job is stagnant, you're doing this. Imagine you're a bank teller for 30 years and your company doesn't want to do ATM. It's going to be quite a boring job, right? Yeah. So the good people naturally, they want to have something more, they will leave. Yeah. So empowering your organization with something that's AI, you can learn something, right? I think it's always it's a good thing for the company. Yeah.
All right, but we have also heard of some leaders that say like, okay, my guys will never adopt this. Like they just want to fix their stuff and go home. I think like some of the countries, the maintenance culture or the work culture is as such. So what's your honest take on that? Do you think it's like truth or do you think it's lazy leadership in play?
It's both, right? So it's 80-20 based on my experience. Actually, I think 80% of the people want to do something. So there's hope for the industry in general, like the people we talk to, regardless of the country they are, regardless of the industries, right? Regardless whether they're running ports, manufacturing plants, whatsoever. They actually want to do something, right? They're open, they're asking good questions, right? They ask questions such as, not the ROI because maybe they don't really care. They ask things like, how much time can I save? Is it just a tool to cut my time from going down? Or can I achieve more to the tool? Is there something that I can work with? Right? Does it help to make my life better with my colleagues? Right? Because typically in a maintenance team, you have to juggle, right? Production schedules, right? Your planned stuff, whatsoever. Yeah. But if I have a tool that can make my work better, make my colleagues not make less friction between the colleagues, it's always a better thing. Yeah. So I think they're asking the right questions. Again, the problem is maybe the higher ups don't support so much yet, right? For some reason or another, but it's 80-20, right? We've got to find the right people. Yeah, or there's just not enough push into this thing yet. People are still hawking the old school PDM solutions. Yeah.
And why is it so? Like the old school, I mean, we always say legacy systems are great, it works. So what's the push to change, to use a new one?
Because, have you heard of the saying? If you buy IBM, you will never get fired. Right?
Yeah.
Heard of this before, we all heard of this before, that's great. But they never tell you, if you buy IBM, you will never get promoted. Yeah. So sometimes in life, you think of yourself, the manager's fucked up. Don't be bastard.
All right, so let's zoom out. So where is this whole thing going? Like in the future of maintenance, like fast forward 2-3 years, if the cognitive maintenance vision actually takes root, what will be the future?
Okay. Firstly, I'm very excited to see job transformation. I think in every era, it's the most exciting thing, right? Because we're all humans. We want to see how humans' job develop over time also. So every industry will have some form of change, right? Like 20 years ago, do we have this job called influencer? Right? Probably you influence yourself, your family, that's all, right? Yeah, 20 years later, it's a real career. People are making their living through it. So I'm excited to see what this maintenance role is, right? Are they just purely, like technicians going out to fix the machines? Or are they going to be like a very enhanced version of a human being, whereby they receive their information into their brain automatically, and then they probably don't even have to go down. They got robots to take that knowledge that they have, go down to the ground and fix it on behalf of them. Yeah, same as autonomous driving. I think it will come. Yeah, so you will still have people randomly planted in the cars like we have in the trains today. But do they really drive the thing? Right? They don't, right? They try to maintain the systems that drive the thing. Yeah, so maintenance, it's exciting. 10 years down the road, let's see. Yeah.
Okay, then let's flip it. So to the companies that don't go ahead with the new trend and use, cognitive maintenance, they just stick with their old ways, legacy systems, PDM, what do you think will happen to them?
They are
So, okay, let's zoom out even further to talking about AI. So, what's the biggest lie that you think that people are selling about AI right now?
that AI will take away your jobs. That's the biggest sham. Okay, so there's some truth to it, right? AI will take away some jobs. But again, if you think about it, some jobs are not meant to exist 10 years, 20 years down the road. It's just not meant to be. Like you don't see anyone, in the past, they like the street lamps, right? You got people taking the fire, then they're putting it up. Yeah, I mean, you don't see those people today. So the good thing is they're being repurposed into something that's better for mankind. Yeah, so I like that angle that AI is going to help people to make their jobs better. So some people will definitely get removed from their roles, but it's part of the transformation. Yeah.
Okay. So do governments actually understand AI enough to regulate it? What do you think? I mean, it's changing so rapidly and there's like so much involved in the tech, right? Yeah.
So here's my view about government. The best thing about government can do is not to help companies to innovate. The best thing a government can do is to not stop companies from innovating. So some countries, the government, they will say that, okay, AI, maybe the government lose some revenue, right? So I don't want to put in automated systems because people need jobs whatsoever. Right? So we get that, right? The government need to protect their people and all. But some of them, they are a bit more extremist, right? Some governments will say that I'm going to stop you from using AI for certain things, even in your government jobs. So is that really helping your citizens in the long run? I don't know, right? But then again, we are not politicians. We don't have that consideration.
True.
Yeah. So most importantly is not whether the government knows. The government just hopefully regulate enough such that innovation can carry on and doesn't stop.
But governments always say that they are pushing towards innovation, but and yet sometimes the reality takes a different turn.
Exactly. I mean, wives always say they love their husband. Husband always say they love their wives. Is that true forever?
You just got married, you can't say that. Alright. So, but the government still worry about the dangers of AI, dark web, as we said, like where's the data actually going to go? So I believe that's why they also regulate it in a sense. Yeah, because they don't want all their data like going out to somewhere else that they don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty in that field. I mean, not just governments, but like general public.
I mean, I like the direction of some governments that are going. So they try to implement their own government cloud, right? They do work with providers. I mean, of course, right? Some people say, why work with foreign external providers thing? But whoever that is the best, right? At the end of the day, it's who owns the data, where's the data sitting, right? Hopefully, it sits within your same city, your same district, same island, right? If not, if the government is not capable enough yet, then by all means, so long as you protect it, right? The whole aim is not to stop this thing from happening, but trying to find ways around making it happen, right? Then, of course, your citizens get more confidence in you also.
That's true. Okay. So, I mean, in this race for AI, the developing countries versus the developed countries obviously they have more resources, more people and all to actually work on the tech. So what do you think this race, like developing countries versus developed, who will win and then who will get there faster?
Okay, the good question. So let's be real, right? There's only 3 ways to win in AI. You either build the infra layer, the LLMs, the servers, everything. You power the whole industry. That's one way to do it. I call it the infra layer. Or you build something that is horizontal, like AI CRM that you can use for across all industries, right? Or you build something that is vertical, right? That you focus on one niche, you go super deep into it, not horizontal, but you understand the layers of dev, regulation, the exact problem that people are trying to solve. So there's only three disciplines in AI that will produce good winners. The rest are clones and whatever you call that, right? I think those will die eventually. So developed countries, they will win in the infra layer for sure. This is a cruel fact because you need billions and billions of capex. If you are a developing country, unless somehow you can cough out the money, if not, you can forget about winning this race, right? That's my view. It's better if you, as a developing country, choose something that your country can win at, right? Maybe it's horizontal. Maybe you can produce the best horizontal application, even for maybe agriculture, right? Across the sectors, right? Or you go very deep into one micro thing, right? Like be the best steel provider in the whole world. You AI the whole thing, you robot the whole thing. I think that's a good chance there, right? So again, I think governments need to know where to invest, where to play their cards, right? In fact, we see some developing countries trying to bite off more they can chew. I think it doesn't work for AI at all, right? Traditional industries, probably, yes, you can try. AI is just so difficult because it's not just governments investing the billions, it's the private companies within the developed countries investing the billions. So your capital cannons, we call it, are pointing outwards. They're trying to kill everybody that is against them. Yeah, so your chances of survival is lesser than 0.01. Yeah.
Okay. So when we move it back to the cognitive maintenance space, who do you think will win? Because we always pit, the West and the East, like who wins, right? Yeah. So in terms of CGM, What's your take on that?
I would like to say, of course, it's us.
The East.
Are we the East? I mean, we're definitely not the West, right? Are we the East?
No.
Okay, the East. Okay, I didn't know. I thought we are Northeast. No, Northeast is not. Right? North Asia is China, right? Then where are we?
East,
Southeast?
Southeast.
Southeast Asia. Okay. Sorry, a bit dumb. Okay, so wait, what's the question again?
So
Who
we
will
always
win the
pit
CGM
we
race?
always pit the West and the East together, and then the CGM of the East and West. So what do you think where do you think we are and who will win?
Okay, so based on the train of thought that I was saying just now, right? I don't think we choose our battles, right? We don't want to play in the LLN infrastructure race. We don't want to build the next, in my opinion, the chip company in our region. I don't think it's worth it unless you have something that's 100 times better than NVIDIA AMD added together, right? So for us, we pick a very nice place that we can have dominance in how I look at it. Number one, Singapore and our region, especially Singapore, it's a super regulated place, right? You got to know your regulations from young, right? That's what we are trained in school. Follow the rules, right? Don't violate the law, don't spit on the floor, don't eat your chewing gum and stuff, right? So you're kind of used to it. You don't feel restricted. It's just your daily life, right? So we like to choose an industry whereby there's some form of regulation, right? That the rest of the world probably don't understand why we chose this. So I think that's the first barrier of entry. Secondly, it's we want to choose an industry that needs some form of depth, right? That means you can't just do a surface layer, like I understand your text, right? Just surface layer type of thing, right? Yeah, we want something that goes beyond the bytes and goes into the real world atoms. Yeah, so that one you have to really dive deeper. Our region is good also. There's a lot of manufacturing going on here, right? There's a lot of atoms compared to just bytes online, right? There's a lot of applications that will work here but will not work in other parts of the world. Yeah, because we have much more human beings around this area. Yeah, so that's why we choose problem statements that makes the most sense, have the highest chance of winning here. Yeah, so in terms of who's going to be ultimate winner, I don't know. Hopefully it's us, but I think we got the necessary ground, we got the necessary training, we got the necessary mindset to thrive.
Okay. So if I'm listening right now and I want to actually get ahead in like maintenance or in the AI technology, what is the one mindset or your biggest tip for our listeners?
Just quit your job, man.
And then?
Quit your job.
And
just quit lah. Hopeless. What's the biggest tip for
one mindset shift?
Mindset shift. Okay, so in the olden days of China, there's this saying: if you know thy enemy, you don't need to retake it. It's true, right? I'm trying to think how to say it in English. If you know thy enemy, you know thyself. Right?
Yes.
Okay, then legit, why are you laughing at me? Like I'm wrong like that.
Because it feels like a storytelling in the ancient days of China.
I am storytelling, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I can't do it anymore.
Okay. So, what's the one mindset shift for our listeners?
Okay. It's important to understand where the industry is going, right? Not just from your company perspective, right? That's important, of course. The aim is to really zoom out, right? Look at what's happening in the whole landscape, the region, and even the world, right? There's always a new technology. That's the good thing, right? The aim is, can that new technology help your work? If you have seen some folks doing it, and some of them have really achieved some results, the only logical thing to do is to sit down, understand the new technology that you have. Yeah, that's the biggest thing that I can guarantee will make your career progress much better.
Okay, sounds good. Yep. Right, thanks Leon for joining us today. We had fun talking.
Thank you for having me.
A lot of insights. That's the job right there. It's not about prediction only, it's about the brain, context and action. So Leon, thank you for joining us, closing out season 1 with us. And so to everyone listening, this was just the beginning. It wraps up season 1, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon.
That's all.
Finish.
More, man. Come on, give me more hype, man. We need more hype beast, yo.
Season 2, we're going global. Cannot.
What's up, guys? It's Maintenance Maestros Monday, Triple M, we call it. And in next season, we're gonna go global, right? Because maintenance, think about it, it's not just local. You're fixing the machines here, but your mindset is facing outwards every day. That's why we're going to where? We're going to
Going global. So new voices, new villains, right? You love it, right? And the same fight. Keeping machines and people ahead of the curve. Bye-bye. See you season 2.
Oh, is that awkward?
Okay, yeah. So moving on to our next question. Should AI be trusted to actually make life and death decisions? What do you think about that?
No. Okay, so why no, right? You should trust humans to train the AI to make the right decision. I think that's how to look at it. So at the end of the day, you have to decide, right? There's no framework. For example, you got someone close to you lying on the deathbed. Do you say yes or no, right, to pull off the oxygen mask? So it's always this dilemma in every single technology wave, right? The key is always back to the humans, right? Technology exists to serve the humans. So yeah, AI is the next big thing for sure, right? But then it's how humans want to train the AI. So I don't think we should let AI autonomously make all the decisions for life and death. If not, you probably got more death than life.
True.
Yeah, because AI will determine, right? If it's not logical, why should you keep the mask on? Right? It's probably better to save resource if you're optimizing it the wrong way. Yeah, but humans will always optimize for the best being that they can for their loved ones. Right? So in a life and death situation, my belief is just trust the humans. Humans will always make a better decision. At least for now.